Hey, welcome to Two Guys Garage. Check out sweet ride we got in the shop today.
Yeah, man, a C6 Corvette. What a lot of people consider bang for buck the best sports car you could buy, man. But this one has been rode hard.
Oh yeah, but fun.
Yeah.
Lots of track days, street burnouts.
Yeah.
It's got some good mods on it, but they're a little bit tired. We're gonna do some upgrades. Stick around.
All right, guys, how about it? A 2007 C6 Corvette. Now, this was the model year Corvette you're gonna find from 2005 to 2013. Under the hood of this big bad boy is an LS2, rolling about 400 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque. Crazy to think about 7, 8 years ago, 400 horsepower being a righteous contender. It's a lot about how cars have changed. But this one wasn't a guy that bought a Corvette and put it in the parking lot and just sits by it. No, this guy actually used this car. Has coilovers on all 4 corners, got him some raised seats and some nice upgrades. Some long tube headers down in here, had a cold air intake, but you could tell that he really got after it because just feeling the brakes, feeling the rotors, topographically, it's just ridgy. It's like a small little mountain chain on here. Got a big lip on the edge of it, so he's definitely had some heat and some torture in these brakes, man.
Yeah, so time for a little maintenance and a few more upgrades as we go. So an easy one, right? The 15-minute bolt-on cold air. We all know it picks up horsepower, gets nice, cool, fresh air from the front. This one's got a huge open element filter that's all washable. This is a great little setup from LG Motorsports. What's cool is it looks it's carbon fiber, it looks nice, it's gonna fit right up here in the front end. And like I said, it just takes a couple of minutes to install, so it's super easy.
Yeah, man, you pull that piece, you're gonna reuse this. I'm gonna reuse this guy here.
Yep, so we got our PCV nipple that will transfer over. We got our mass airflow sensor, and you wanna be careful in there not to get your fingers up in that sensor element.
Okay.
We'll use that guy over again. So we'll transfer this stuff over here to the front, and you can see this will sit right down in here, look pretty slick, get that big gulp of cold air, get the motor breathing. So we're gonna zip this together real quick. We'll start moving our way down. All right, so the easy stuff is kind of done, which means we probably got to start doing some real work.
Yeah, man. You know, he told us about this nagging exhaust leak. Let's get it up on the rack, show you guys that and the cool stuff we're gonna do to fix it.
Oh yeah, there's some nice carnage right there.
There's the damage right there. As soon as we get underneath the car, real obvious where the leak is coming from. He's tagged a few things with this flange. He's hit the header down here. That's got to be getting thin. So he's been pushing on the car.
Yeah, it doesn't help that it's lowered. It's all set up for performance. So this stuff is pretty normal. But I think we've gone to the point where we've damaged it enough. And if you look closely, we've got not only some road rage from hitting the road, but we've got some thick flanges on the back, which is nice. But these front flanges on the headers, you just can't get a good solid push, you know, between the two halves. So instead of fighting with this thing forever, trying to Band-Aid it, repair it, it's probably going to be easier. Yeah. Not just replace, but upgrade.
Upgrade.
Yeah, so let's get the headers out. We'll dump those down. Because we've got some good friends, let's go ahead and throw on a nice, bigger, diameter midsection here. So let's go ahead and get this thing breathing better and sounding better and making some power. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, sneaking those headers out. How many plugs you got out there already?
I got 3, only one more and it'll be good.
All right, I'm gonna steal your tools in a second. Now we got the midsection out, so that's gonna leave the headers open to start dropping those out. So of course we gotta go to the top side, start taking the bolts out. But there's a few other things you might wanna get out of your way just to make the whole job easier.
Yeah, man, like spark plugs. You don't want to break them or anything like that. So a good thing is just to remove those, remove some of the plug wires as well, get everything out of the way. Because getting these headers out, although it's pretty easy, it's no small feat. A lot of angles, a lot of wiggling, a lot of finesse.
A little bangity, 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 finally, haha. Last thing you wanna do, there's a dipstick tube and it runs right through the headers and definitely no way to make that work out. Yeah. But it's a single bolt, so you take the one bolt off, pops right out. There's an O-ring that goes right down into the pan area or the skirt of the block, either one. And with that O-ring there, you can just pop it right back in, put the hold down bolt, and you're set. Don't even need RTV on it. So We're gonna clean this guy out, leave maybe one fastener on each side, and get staged, lift the car up, and we can sneak her out. All right, doing the dance, doing the little header dance, the wiggle jiggle. Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. Yeah, boy, Of course, I gave him the side with the starter. Well, come on over, I'll show you what we're gonna put on instead of these guys here. All right, let's check out our new exhaust system. Now, we've got everything from LG Motorsports. Now, if we look right off the bat, we're like, well, dude, this looks pretty much the same. Now, from a long tube header standpoint, yeah, they're both great. They have to go through the same sort of tortuous path, so it's kind of gonna dictate sort of the long tubeness. Now, that long tube is gonna get you some tuning length, which is great. That's gonna give you that big power curve, right? So you got tuning action, you're pulling in some fresh air, you're getting the old exhaust out, but you've also got some separation. So you've got exhaust pulses pulsing down, and if I had a shorty header or an exhaust manifold, I would just send this high pressure back up to another cylinder that might be on valve overlap. So I'm just pushing exhaust into another cylinder, taking up free space for cold air and fuel. So the long tube part is great, but there's some features on here that we really like. So check these out. Now on this end, you know, the old one had this sort of bent up flange here and wasn't doing a good job at sealing. So we talked about that, you know what to look for, and this is a great way to put some things together. Is we've got a slip fit style kind of OE where you slide this guy on there, you put a nice high quality OE band clamp on it, good and sealed. So the other thing you want to notice is check out the collector region, right? In this one we've got 4 tubes kind of funneling into a large diameter pipe going out the back. But this one is kind of interesting. It seems to sort of neck down a little bit and then flare back up. Now let me show you the inside of that so you get an idea of what's actually happening.
Oh yeah.
So here's a cutaway. Now this is pretty cool. So we've got the 4 tubes coming in here, but if you look inside, normally instead of that cone, which is a nice sort of transition, there's just an empty sort of squarish, you know, half roundy kind of shape, actually like this. Well, you open up into a full diameter, what you end up with is an expansion loss. So you got all these exhaust molecules just flowing in a nice straight line, going through the tube, and then when it hits that big open volume, things just kind of go, oh, what's over there? Let me check that out.
Hang out for a minute.
You lost your momentum, and you got to gather back up again to get it shooting out the back.
I got a little experiment.
All right.
Okay.
I like science in the garage.
So all we have here is a couple hoses. Now this is a two flange header, if you will. So I'm going to show you what he's talking about, that expansion loss, and why you want something like this merge collector from LG Motorsports.
Let's give him a good shot of it, right?
All right.
So 2 tubes coming into a collector.
Yep.
Right.
A bottle of water right
here. We're going to put one down in some water and shoot air up the other.
Now check this out. Little bit. But watch when he tightens it down and you don't have that expansion loss. All right, ready? Woo! All right, towel yourself off. All right.
So what's happening is by shooting that air in there, it's got a high velocity air. By keeping this section, keeping that momentum, you got a high pressure going this way, and you're sort of pulling a vacuum or a low pressure, and it's actually lifting the water.
And what that's going to do is scavenge those burnt gases, right? It's going to pull those gases out of the cylinder, and that leaves you more room for more air, more fuel, better efficiency, and so forth.
Right. One cylinder fires, but creates a vacuum to pull the next one right behind it, and so forth and so forth. So everything's just kind of going like a little army.
Yeah.
Right out the back where you want it to. So cool, man. You can do your cat, or if you're doing some off-road racing, they give you a section here to replace it, so you can pick which one. Dual 3-inch out the back, so this thing's going to be tight. It's going to sound good. It's going to perform even better than what we had in there to begin with.
Exactly, man. It's great stuff from LG Motorsports. Now, all we got to do is get it in there. So let's handle that. Boom. All right. Now we're getting this LG Motorsports header exhaust system bolted in here. We got our O2 sensors out of our old headers. Now I'm going to slide it up in here. It's always good to have a buddy. One on top, one on the bottom, kind of working, finessing the headers up and around everything you need to get this guy to fit in there. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, we are close, buddy. You're close. There you go. Just needs that, that little wiggle. Now, one thing you want to do, we got some little extensions for our O2 sensors because that got moved farther back. Well, we already had them on there, but you can see how they're routed. It's good things we got new ones because no good Now these come with the OE multi-layer steel gasket, which is nice because it's a high quality piece. You can see the down, the manifold side. So I just need to orient it correctly. And then the trick is just getting that first fastener started. And then it just gets easier and easier from there. So.
Because you got this good help underneath, bro.
That's right, man. That's right. Yeah, trying to do a one-handed header install bolt start thing is awful. Not always so easy. Yeah, it's definitely nice to have that guy down below being real nice and buying you the cold ones later on. Now I'm just going to get these fasteners in there. I got the dipstick to go back in as well. And from there, I think we're ready to fire this thing up.
All right, guys, let's face it. Time is money. The more time you spend cleaning up messes in and around your shop, the more money you're wasting. So a good shop always has to have good absorbent material around, like this product from New Pig. It's called the Pig Mat. It's 8 layers of polypropylene, super strong, super tough, and it absorbs almost everything. Literally any fluid, coolants, solvents, grease, oil, whatever. Small kids, cats, you'll probably lose a cat up in here as well. And the mess actually stays right in the mat. Look at that. Soaks it all up. And also, from our friends at New Pig, form a funnel. And one of those true, why didn't I think of this ideas? It's pliable, nitrile rubber. You could bend it, get it between tight locations in and around headers and so forth. And this is to make sure the oil never hits the floor. Pretty cool products, man. These products from New Pig and more available at our friends at Federated Auto Parts.
We all know replacing headlights can be expensive. Not to mention the light output of the lens affects nighttime visibility. Restore your lens's performance with a 3M headlight restoration system. Sand, refine, and polish your headlights to a like-new appearance. For severely damaged headlights, start by sanding with a 500 grit sandpaper to remove the heavy oxidation. Then refine with an 800 grit. Remember, it's going to look worse before it gets better. Wet sand is the final step, which will create a slurry to show you that you're refining the sanding scratches. With the scratches removed, add a dime-sized amount of 3M rubbing compound to the orange foam pad and polish the lens until the cloudy haze is gone and lens looks clear and new. As a final step, apply 3M synthetic wax protectant to guard your work from the elements. If you don't have a cordless drill, 3M also offers a headlight restoration kit you can do by hand. This tip is brought to you by 3M Auto. Smarter technology through science.
All right, welcome back to Two Guys Garage. All right, 1 3/4 primaries, back to 3-inch exhaust. This thing's gonna be sounding fantastic. Even got new wires for the O2 sensors. Get this thing all buttoned up. We'll be good to go.
Good to go?
Yeah,
but
man.
now we gotta be good to stop. So
Yeah.
We got the fast stuff in. Now it's time to make it, bring it down.
All right, you do that. I'll get this all buttoned up.
All right, everything on this car has been driven hard and put away wet. So there's a little enthusiasm in the way this guy drives, and I like it. Well, the brakes are pretty smoked. I'll show you here. You can see this lip right there. Now the pads are done. We've got pretty good wear on the rotor there. And we've got the other side off and up here on the table. Now you can see this lip still. Now we can go ahead and we can measure the thickness to see if there's enough meat there to turn the rotors down with the new pads. But one of the things you want to check, especially with a cross-drilled rotor, check it out here. We've got stress cracks. We've got them on just about every hole, every other hole. And those are just going to continue to grow, right? Thermal cycling, we've got stress risers because of the holes. So not a surprise. If we look at the new rotor here, this is from Power Stop. This one's got minimal drillings and some slots. Now the slots are great, they're a little bit more stable. You got a pad coming around here. If you got some gas buildup because of heat between the two, you can escape some of that. You can also clean the pad as it comes over the slot area there. Now this is our new setup. It's not just the rotor, it also comes with the pads and the clips. Now this is their Z26, it's their Street Warrior setup. So this combo is going to give you about 20% more power stopping capability than the factory stuff. And it's easy because you just hit one button and it all comes to your door. Now, once you put everything together, the one thing you want to do is make sure you bed the pads in. Now what that does is you're actually taking a little bit of this pad compound, and in the process, you're putting a thin layer on the rotor, and that's a lot of what that two surfaces are going to be doing is pad to pad compound, really. Now to do that, you want to check with your manufacturer and see what their recommendations are. But in general, procedure might be like a 45 mile an hour to 5 mile an hour, kind of moderate to aggressive braking. And you want to do that about 5 times in a row. Like, don't let the brakes cool. So once you've got those 5 aggressive stops in, then you want to do maybe a 25 to 5. But once you get down to 5, let it cool a little bit. Go back up to 25, down to 5, let it cool. So 5 of those, you're pretty good. You can go out there and start having a good time. So anyway, we're going to start unbolting all this stuff, get all the new goodies on, then we'll go out for that joyride.
Hey, have you ever been that guy? You know, the guy that fails the emissions test? Yeah. Well, this is probably a product that you need. CRC Industries presents the Guaranteed to Pass Emission Test Formula and Fuel System Cleaner. Now, what it is basically a cleaner. It's got all kinds of additives in there. Hit your valves, hit your intakes, get all that carbon off, all that varnish, all that buildup from your entire combustion chamber. And again, it's guaranteed to pass. So you throw it in your tank every 3,000 miles. You could also use it as a fuel system cleaner. So check it out from CRC Industries, the Guaranteed to Pass Emission Test Formula and Fuel System Cleaner.
Now this is a must-have for any shop or garage or even work site bench top. Now, this is a 6.5-inch heavy-duty cast iron vise from Woodward Fab. Now some of the things you want to look for in a good vise obviously is some clamping power with size, so get the right size for you. You've got an anvil for when you're just angry. You can just bang on stuff. You can use it as a work surface. You got removable hardened steel jaws, so if you mangle them, you can replace them. And you even have a pipe jaw in here that's replaceable as well, so you can hold on to round objects. Now, get the swivel so you can set yourself up for whatever kind of work you need to do. Now, check them out. Woodward Fab, all kinds of great equipment, the 6.5-inch benchtop vise. Now, we all know the best way to kick up the performance, that ride and handling on your vehicle, shocks and struts. Now, check out these killer units from RideTech. Now these are full custom design to fit your application, so no part 6 interchange or grind or cut. Everything is stainless steel hardware, so you know what's going to last. And they're custom valved for your application. Well, on top of that, you got a ton of tuning opportunities. You got 24 clicks of rebound adjustment. So no matter what configuration you have, you can go out there and really dial in your vehicle. Now on top of that, these things don't have just a 1,000,000 mile. It's a 1,000,000 mile in one warranty, so you know they're built to last and they're built to perform. Check them out at RideTech.
Oh yeah, trying to get our vet buttoned up, get this thing back on the road, man. I cannot wait to drive this car.
Speaking about driving cars,
yeah, man.
There is a pilot truck in the parking lot, and it has a killer CUDA sitting in there.
Dude, you know why?
Why?
Because that's my killer CUDA.
I heard.
Yeah, man. So if that pilot truck is here, that means I got to get a hold of my boys at Performance Unlimited. They built a nasty big block. I stuffed it in there about a week and a half ago. Pilot picked it up. It's just here. Hang on.
Nice.
Get here now.
Now.
Boom.
All right.
You guys stick around. Big treat for you in the form of a 67 big block Barracuda coming up.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at TwoGuysGarage.com. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Seatbelt Solutions, the safest seatbelt money can buy.
In front of you is my 67 Barracuda, right from my garage. Here is my man Doug from Performance Unlimited. Now, we brought you down here because I love the 500 cubic inch stroker motors. The old 440 stroked out the 500 cubic inches, and you guys built a whopper for this car.
Well, thanks, Willie. You know, when you called Steve and he said, you know, Willie from Two Guys Garage called me, I got really excited about, you know, building this car.
So you start out with a 440 block. Tell me what you guys did to
Well,
it.
here's what we did. We called Eagle and set us up with a nice rotating assembly, put a nice steel crank in here with a 1-inch stroke, nice H-beam rod, forged piston, big mechanical roller cam.
The numbers, baby. Give me the numbers. Horsepower, torque, what are we talking?
Here we go. We got about 625 horsepower and 670 foot-pounds of torque. This is definitely going to plant this thing to, you know, to the mountain.
And here's the best part. I haven't even driven the car. I put it in, started it, put it on the pilot transportation truck to bring it down here. So I've never really got to experience what that motor will do in this car.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Barracuda is going to show its teeth.
That it will, man. And you guys just don't do Mopars. You do Ford, Chevy, you do everything, right?
Yeah, we do everything.
Oh, look, my boy Kevin's back in the Corvette. Let's hear it. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think this thing's going to take a little piece of that, though.
So, hey,
here, man.
hey, let me tell you, that's the LS2, right? They started at 400 horsepower. This started at 335, all right? So a little advantage on that one initially, but I think you got this one turned up. We were just talking about it. That one started out 400, this one started out 335, but this one's turned up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that one's turned up a little. This one's turned up a lot. Nice. So I heard you're making some big power out of this thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we made about 625 horsepower.
Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful street motor.
Yeah, it's going to be great. When he gets it on the road and puts the tires down, it's going to plant him in the seat a little bit. He's going to enjoy this. You know, back at our company, we don't just do Chrysler motors. We do Pontiacs, we do Chevys, we do Fords. You know, we do a little bit of variety for everybody. So, you know, again, we enjoyed this project. I know Willie's going to have a lot of fun driving it, man.
Can't wait to get it all buttoned up, get it out on the street, and start pounding on Corvettes.
Oh, yeah. You'll be eating them up.
My wheels are spinning because he said all the names I love to hear.
Indeed,
so like, all right, I got a Mustang, I got these, I got a Camaro. Like,
call them up, man. Yep. Performance Unlimited. Thank you guys, man. Hey, we got to get the buttoning this thing up and get it out on the street. How was the drive, man? How was it?
Oh, that thing's a riot, dude. It's a riot. Stops on a dime. Just gets squirrely all over the place. You heard it sounds great.
Yeah, I was looking for the great view and coming in and doing a little donut action, but that's all right, man.
We hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're out of time today, and when we come back, this beast is in there getting all kinds of whipped up, turned up. We'll see you back doing burnouts in the CUDA.